Welcome to it. This is Know Your Power, the podcast series brought to you by VW Amarok. And over the course of this series, we want you to discover the man that is Seabelo Senatla and help you tap into what real power is. All 10 episodes are live right now, so find them by clicking the link in the bio of your favorite podcast app. Welcome to the Know Your Power podcast with myself, MKT, and of course, my guy, your favorite, Seabelo Senatla. Today we are joined by the voice of an angel, a human angel, a gospel star, and somebody who Seabelo knows only too well. Seabelo, let me start with you before we introduce our guest, because you know the normal thing is to let the guest go first.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what?
Let's switch it up.
You know what I mean?
That's what we do.
It's a new time.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It's a new time. How you doing, bro?
I'm easy, my champ. How you doing?
You know, when just now when you came in, is so people don't get to see this part of things. Is I thought, okay, this guy's a superstar. It's gonna be my first time meeting him. Maybe he was just nice before online.
For real. Stop it, man. Stop it.
But you're better in real life. I just wanted to get that out the way than I even anticipated. So thanks for that. That's nice of you. And your dreads are even nicer in real life than on TV, by the way.
I mean, my internet was kind of like lashing out on me, so I'd like to think I'm better in real life. Contrary to what Instagram is, right?
Okay. So listen, man. Now that
No shots.
No. I'm done. I'm all about positive vibes today. You know, I've given you the compliments now, but somebody who's joining us today, the lovely lady over here, is somebody who you know only too well. And before she exposes, obviously, so keep on my file today.
Yeah, everything. The whole lot.
Before we introduce her to the people, I just wanted to get your take on what does she mean to you before we introduce who she is.
Putting me on the spot.
Hey, come on.
Nah, this is my lovely sister, obviously. I'd like to think that I'm a family man, even though like I fail to pretty much show it all the time. Like I keep my people in my heart more than I do on the phone. You know, I'm not a phony person, so I struggle with communication quite a lot. So I fail to portray the message as in my heart. But she's a very important person in my life. So my other sibling and my parents and my little boy and my nephews, my children, they play a very important role, which they don't really sometimes get. Especially talking to the nephews now that I just spoke about. You know, they see me as this, not even a person. To them, I'm like a god.
Yeah.
And I inspire them so much, and they always like trying to replicate what I'm doing on the pitch, especially. So having that type of, I don't know, beholdment,
Yeah.
you kind of feel responsible to do right with them and to always show a good example. So thank you for bringing them to this planet. But in regards to her specifically, I know that she's always there. She's always been there. You know, my life hasn't been, excuse me about that, nearly as perfect in any sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, through the good and bad, she's always been there. And vice versa. So I think we have a good relationship in that regard.
And, you know, to hear those words, and as I said, gospel star, Pulane Maphari. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
To hear those words live. Because I didn't want, you know what, I didn't want to prepare him. I thought I'm going to get him to intro.
You never prepare me. Don't act like you for one said, okay, let me prepare. You never. You always doing this.
He was going to do a script.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was gonna be too proper.
Cue
you know?
cards.
Yeah.
But welcome and thanks so much for making the time. Because I can
thank you
only
so
imagine
much.
right now, the world's opening back up. You guys must perform again. But great to have you here and to hear those words from him. Just your thoughts as well before we get going.
It's actually very amazing. Like you said, he struggles with communication. He's not one to bear his soul, you know? So I'm thankful for moments like this. Thank you so much. Because at least we get a little bit of time to, you know, experience some of that emotional side of him. But usually with him, I see his love through his actions. He's an action kind of man. So he will show you that he loves you more than he will tell you that he loves you. So he's an action kind of person. So hearing it made me all mushy and everything. Because I'm the sensitive one in the family. I'm the emotional one in the family. I am, listen, tears in a second. You know?
Nah, dude, in a second, like,
no, for real.
Split second TV.
Like,
oh, really?
I cry a lot. When I'm happy, when I'm frustrated, when I'm, anything, I just cry.
Any trigger, any emotion.
And is that since you guys were young? Or
Yeah,
since.
Yeah. Even my husband has had to, kind of understand that.
Wow.
And I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I cry. That's how I express myself.
But not bad. That's not a bad thing.
It's not
a bad thing.
It's really not a bad thing.
But are we talking like a good meal can take you?
No.
I'm just taking it way too far.
No.
Okay.
No, that is weird.
Okay, this is so good.
I'm just so grateful.
I can't believe how good this is.
No. Like, it's the more deeper stuff.
I got you.
But also even the lighter things, but like movies, can be like a specific scene that just gets
The
me
one
all
I can't
teary.
get. Do you cry in a movie? Like,
I have never cried in a movie.
I don't understand the
Oh,
thing.
gosh.
And I'm not a tough guy.
Really,
I'm also
I
not
cry-
a tough guy. I don't understand that.
Not once. Not once have I ever cried.
You know what actually happened to me? In December last year, a friend of mine got married. And this was the first, even for me. I cried when they came in. You know, like that moment, just step. I don't even know why. And I'm like, so it just depends.
You're like, dude, why are you crying? They're just entering the building. Why are you crying?
But the thing is, it's about the moment.
I'm with you.
And there's context to it. Yes, it looks like it's just stepping.
story.
But for me, at that moment, seeing how happy he was getting finally, meeting the one.
Yeah.
Seeing how happy he was, it made me just all teary-eyed. I was like, this is so amazing.
That makes you a better person than me because I'm not good at being happy for people. So
Don't expose yourself.
We said he fell in the heart of today.
Careful now.
That's what he said.
But you know what? That makes it even more interesting because if you're saying that's always been the personality dynamic from when you were young, I mean, for both of you to be in such different worlds, but doing your thing and really putting yourselves into it, I would imagine growing up, whether there was a sibling rivalry or there was something there, you both have that thing.
Yeah.
And in South Africa, we say that thing. I don't know how to describe it better than that.
I get you.
So how was it growing up across from Seabelo? And vice versa. I'll come to you.
I think I can say that we have remained the same. We have honestly remained the same. We're the same people we were when we were kids. It was so amazing seeing him moving into the spaces that he's moving into now and him remaining the same person. Like, he's literally the same guy he was when we were kids.
That's awesome.
So even in terms of our communication and how we relate to one another, it's never been a struggle because we've always remained the same. But with that being said, I've been the emotional one and he's more chilled. I'll freak out about something and he's like, no, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no, sis, it's not that serious, really, And I'm more reserved and he's out there.
He is out there.
He is out there. He's a social guy. He's the guy that has a whole lot of friends. He always has people around him. I'm a homebody. I love to read, watch movies, stay at home more, deeper thinker type of thing. He's a social person. So the contrast, it's amazing, but what I love about it is that we have accepted one another.
Yeah.
Even back then, I understood that he is who he is.
Yeah.
And he gets it that I am who I am.
Battle of extremes, really.
I'm telling you.
Battle of extremes. Like, it's so funny because we have a younger sibling and I don't know where to place him. Like, he's kind of like in between.
He's in between.
So she's like
between the
extreme,
two of
I'm
us.
extreme,
Yeah.
and he's just there in between.
Balance.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing to just think like three people that are vastly different come from the same parents. Like, it's absolutely crazy.
But that's the thing about our parents, though, because like we're not the same at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing,
because
bro.
even in him, because like
Nothing.
I'm gospel,
Yeah.
and he's like a rugby star. He's doing like what do you call this? Hospitality management. That's what he studied. He's graduating in that. So
is
cooking,
that the other sibling?
yes,
Yeah, that's the other
cooking
sibling.
and all of that. Something totally different.
Which is fantastic because let me tell you something I underestimate is the quality of home cooking. So for you guys, if he's around, that's fantastic.
Mate,
No, our family throws it down. He can actually
Mate.
cook really good as well.
Hey, man.
don't underestimate.
Yeah, he's
Don't underestimate.
Wait a
actually
minute.
very good. He's actually very
Nah,
good.
I think he's a little bit better than me. Most of the time. I must say, I'm giving him props.
Yeah.
Most of the time we try to collab. So like, one will be in the kitchen making, the sides, and one will be making the meat or frying, whatever the case may be. So we try to split the duties up, division of labor type of thing.
I like that. That's business talk.
Division of labor.
That's
type
business
of thing.
talk.
And it's nice, it's quick, and like obviously you get to, I don't know, it's like time spent with each other in a way.
What's your speciality though? If let's say now a man,
Meat.
really,
Meat.
just tanning.
Bro, meat. Anything meat.
Hey,
Meat. I don't stand big in this. Meat.
Yeah.
Meat. I'm a fish tail boy. Like we have cows and sheep. Come on.
yes,
we don't
yes,
have,
yes. We are who we are.
I don't understand fish though. Fish, fish is a concept that I picked up here.
And
No, digging it now. I'm still not very fair with like doing it very well.
yeah.
Like I'm still, it's either I'm overcooking it or I'm undercooking it. So I haven't found the right balance, but I'm
Okay.
enjoying it.
So are you a braai guy? Because now a lot of people say barbecue. They're wrong. It's a braai.
nothing. It's a
Yeah.
braai.
We are absolutely a
100%.
Braai family.
Oh, you're a braai family.
At least
Brian
once a
family.
week, there's no way. I'm Brian tonight, even. She's here. She's here, I'm Brian.
We're a Braai family.
Since-
So if there's like maybe like, oh, so and so is visiting,
Brian.
Braai.
Let's go.
There's Braai.
And so who's cooking? Is Seabelo? Can he cook? I mean, like, can he tend the meat?
Yeah, he can really cook. Like honestly, he can really cook.
Not just Braai, like, I can cook no more
I think
food.
they get it from my dad because my dad, he always says that if it wasn't for the system and how they grew up, because he's a policeman now, but he always says he would have liked to become a chef. My dad loves to cook.
He loves.
He
My dad
loves
cooks more
to
than my
cook.
mom.
My dad
cooks all the time.
amazing food.
Oh, and he's a policeman. That's why you guys are
Yeah.
disciplined. I was wondering. I was like, is this a mistake? Why did both of them? Also, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's very
disciplinarian.
strict.
He's very strict.
He's that guy.
Dad is that.
Yeah, he's very
Mom is
strict.
also like educator. So thin line, brother.
I love it.
Thin
Yeah.
line.
And speaking to that and that discipline, because for Seabelo we can kind of see where his career, and it's been quite public from early. You know, that raw talent in
Yeah.
his field comes out early. Your career has been interesting, and that takes a different kind of discipline to get into your career, especially the way you did and the way it's been shaped.
Yeah.
I quickly want to talk about your career and the way it's gone. Did you ever see yourself when you were doing what you were doing before, becoming a gospel singer and elevating it to the level you've taken it to?
Not a gospel singer.
Yeah.
When I was maybe early teenage years, I saw myself as an R&B star. Back then,
Beyonce.
Tony Braxton.
Beyonce used to blast about our speakers.
Music Soul
It
Child.
was Beyonce, Music Soul
Remember
Child.
that?
All of those people, dog, used to blast so early in the morning. It's like, yo, my sister, please. My sister. Yo.
And the singing, I sang all the time, washing dishes.
Dude, we
in
used
the
to wake up.
bathroom.
She used to wake us up in the morning. Like, okay, it's morning now. You need to wake up at 7 o'clock, singing as loud as she can. I'm like, whose voice is so warm at 7 o'clock in the morning?
No one. Yeah, for goodness sake. Also, you've always, that thing.
It's always been
Yeah,
there.
it was an alarm clock.
But back then, I saw myself more as, like you saying, the Beyonce's, Destiny's Child, Brandy's, Mariah Carey's, and those people from back then.
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott.
Hey.
Music Soul Child.
Hey.
As you get older, and like I said, I'm a deep thinker, so I've always been that person who's just always thinking deeper. What is the meaning of life? I'm
Yes.
that kind of person.
Oh, don't cry.
Honestly. No, you're safe. You're safe. Don't worry.
I was on the other side saying,
No, don't worry. You're safe. You are very safe.
Yeah.
So meaning of life and all of that, and then that's when I found my faith. So I never saw myself being a gospel artist. It came at a later stage in my life, but one thing I can say is that I've always wanted to sing. But now the problem with that was that our parents were very academics and all of that.
Yeah.
And because I actually have the capacity, like I was that person.
Basically, she took all the brains.
Okay. Oh.
That's what she's trying to say. She
didn't
came
wanna
on
say it.
first.
Yes.
She came on first, took everything. Left nothing for us. Left nothing.
So the
I'm glad you said
expectations were very high when it came to me.
Yes.
I feel like my parents saw me being the academic one, So it was kind of difficult for me to now just come back and switch it up and say, hey, I actually just want to do music.
Oh, boy.
I knew it was not even possible.
Yeah.
So I went for something that I knew I would still be passionate about, which is chemical engineering. So then I just went and studied engineering. I went the engineering route.
So did you study chemical engineering?
Yeah.
Now, I have to stop you there. I know what chemical engineers are like because my father is one of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How did you deal when she was going through the stress that last year? Because I know people spread the chemical engineers. They like to spread the stress. They don't.
Luckily, she's like she said, she's quite a reserved person and she's to herself. So I never saw too much of that. And by then, she was out of the house, type of thing, So I didn't see much of her. It's just the four of us at home.
And were you feeling the academic pressure? I mean, once you go chemical engineering, that's not.
I was like, okay, chemical engineering. What must I do now?
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go finance. And I went finance, and I was pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I had the capacity as well. It's only jokes that I say she stole all the brains. I had the capacity as well. Like I enjoyed accounting, and I did extremely well with accounting. I actually studied accounting for the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Out of school. I got a bursary, obviously playing rugby, but I studied accounting, and I did pretty well. I just left it because there was no need anymore,
No, well, I saw on
I'm not
TV.
gonna stress myself like this. Why?
I see what you're saying because I saw you on TV. I saw you sidestepping 6 guys. Yeah.
As soon as Paul 2 said, "Okay, bro, here's the contract," I was like, "Okay, ma, you can see where this is going." But she still pushed, man. Like that's what mom was like, "Yo, dude, you have to do something."
Do something, yeah.
Carry on. I'm like, "Mom, I can't do accounting because obviously I need a tutor for that because it's quite practical, right?"
Sure.
So it's like, dude, just do something. And I did short courses throughout the years. Like I did marketing course with Red and Yellow. When was it? Last year.
Yeah.
Last year or the year before. And I got that. So I'm always doing stuff just to firstly renew my mind and to keep myself active.
Keep the mind fresh.
Yeah, to keep myself active in terms of brain activity. Not like rest of my laurels and just trying to remain creative in the way that I think, because I'm also a very progressive guy. Like I don't like staying at one level for too long. Like no matter what I'm doing, I could be doing the rugby thing is going well. Yes, we understand that, but how else can I express myself and how else can I live out who I'm meant to be?
You know why that's such an important thing that you're saying about the constant. Education is a lifetime exercise, and for me, as you're saying that, I'm thinking to myself, with who we are as Africans, is that you guys, we're all, our generation will carry a certain burden, which whether you feel it or not, you're going to carry it. Is that for you? Did you kind of feel a thing of, number one, the pressure from the parents, but you need to obviously lay the way to say, hey, guys, this is this family standard now.
With our parents, they preached education all the time.
Mm.
Like, listen, like they had no chill.
You didn't catch a break.
I love you, mom and dad, but they had no chill.
You didn't catch
like
a break.
you could be watching the news and listen, it's gonna go down on you in a second.
Yeah.
Like be like, if they see something that they don't like, you see, if you don't have medication, this is what happens.
Grocery store, like
time.
She says, go get whatever, like tomato sauce, and there's like obviously like a couple of options with the tomato sauce.
Yeah.
So you're like, you're looking at these things, like, okay, mommy, which one now? Read. Can't you read? I'm like, yo, it's just tomato sauce, dude. Like, which one do you like? I want to get the one that you.
Yeah. So
Why
our
did you
parents.
read?
They had no chill. They had no chill whatsoever. So it was something that was implanted. And so the mentality that I had was, I need to do this. I need to get this, and the excellence and winner mentality as well is something that our parents has instilled in us growing up, which is now, it's good, but it has become kind of like a difficult thing for me in the industry now because the industry is different. The entertainment industry is different.
Uh-huh.
It's unlike when you're in the working space, when you know what to do, you need to work hard, you get a promotion. There are channels, there's a set system. But with the entertainment industry, there's no set system. something can work that has never worked before.
How do you measure
Something
yourself?
you
then?
can't
Like,
make,
that's
you
so
can't really
difficult.
control the process. So for me, that was very frustrating because I've always been excellence, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
This and that, this and that. But now with the industry, I couldn't figure it out because I wanted a formula.
So how, like, let me ask you a question. How do you measure, your sort of excellence? Because excellence is different for everybody else, right?
That was the thing, though. That was the thing. I had to get to that point where I have to ask myself, what is my measure of success? And then if I have that, then I know that I'm cool with that.
Yes.
And at first, my measure was what I thought was the general measure for everybody else. Many followers, just being out there, your music trending and all of that. But I had to really go deeper and look at it from another angle. And really, really, really look what is really important. So for me, I started to measure it in impact form.
Hey.
Not to say how many people are following you, but how many people are you really impacting?
Got you.
How many people is your music impacting? And when I was looking at the DMs, the inboxes, I was set.
That's awesome.
Joe, they
I
DM
was
you too.
set.
Hey, man. No. Different to yours.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
He's starting with me. You see that?
So has he been? He's been like this since.
One month.
Yeah. This is why. This
is what I have to deal with.
This is why. The DMs are different to yours, but that's huge. That's huge. The impact.
I don't get thirst in my DMs. I just have to say.
It's not a thirst trap DM.
No.
Assembly.
I get your music inspires me. It heals me.
Yeah.
Deep stuff. I don't know what you're getting in your DMs.
I was just playing.
Let's not even. So this sounds always me.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah.
He is like this, eh? See, I understand why you're emotional now. I was thinking you're always dealing with this guy trying to... But that's absolutely huge because, Seabelo, for you, I don't know if it was the same. I mean, obviously yours is more tangible, right? I can see you sidestepping. We can see you. There are sort of metrics, how much can you lift? How much, how fast can you run and whatever. But I think, you're in a legacy phase of your career at the moment. You've shown that on the field you got the goods, but the legacy starts to become, and I don't know if legacy is a big thing for you. It's something you can speak to, but again, that impact, that's a huge word, right? You can have 1 million followers, but you're taking anything, you aren't grounded in anything. But you've taken that entrepreneurship, you've taken that mentor role. So, I mean, that impact measurement for you, I think, is also is becoming more important for you, I would imagine.
It's always been. And I've shared the story of obviously where I come from and how people think and what I'm trying to do with that, trying to re-engineer people's mindsets. So impact for me was always huge. Obviously, like a different measure to where my sister comes from. I'd agree with her when she says, like, social impact is not just on social media platforms. I think my impact it stretches out way more than my social media. Like when I go, like simply walk into Pick and Pay and you see how much joy you bring to people by just doing what you do. Those people don't have social media. Like a lot of them is like young kids, like very, very young kids, old people, like people that are in the 80s. People that have no clue what social media is, or they have a clue, but obviously they're not on the platforms.
Yeah.
And you see how much you have impacted those people's lives. And they tell you like, dude, remember that time and such a time? I'm like, yo, I don't even remember it, but you're just saying yes because you can see what you've done. Like, the eyes don't lie. Yeah. The eyes don't lie, Chico. You can see what you've meant and what you've done for these people in their lives. So when they're telling you these type of stories, like those are the moments that I live for. Like I'm playing rugby. At first, I used to play rugby to fulfill myself. Now I play rugby to kind of like fulfill other people because I understand how much it stretches. I try to play rugby to inspire hope. A lot of people look at my situation and be like, damn, especially people from my town. Like I said, he comes from the same streets. We played with him. We lived with him. Nothing is special about him. So why can't I? So it kind of like triggers something in them to also reach for their dreams because nothing is special about me. I literally just went out and then fought for my dreams.
And what's interesting? Have you guys ever discussed it? It's so interesting that you guys give this intrinsic answer
because you can't fake that answer as well. It's not like I sent you notes and whatever. Is that something you guys that was infused in you? I think your parents have clearly played a role in fortifying that. But do you guys, have you ever spoken about that, or you think it's just coming out in both of you now?
We talk all the time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the first few times we had conversations about this was when I knew that I was gonna get into the entertainment industry where you can be a public figure and all of that. And for me, it was the most, at some point I knew it was coming, so it was so scary for me, you know? And I literally spent years watching him. So I was watching him, how is he behaving? How is he handling everything? What's his approach and all of that. And seeing him doing his thing, it really, really, I was like, I can do this. I can do this too.
I remember the conversation like very vividly because she was entering this new journey, this new chapter in her life, right? And she was like, dude, she said this to me like I'll never forget in my life. She's like, dude, I'm gonna do this. I'm tired of chemical engineering. I don't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Like I feel like I'm not living to my potential and to my purpose in life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do what I love, which is to sing. I'm like, dude, what took you so long? And she was like, actually, like, the reason why I'm here now, it's because of you, because you've shown me that. Because I used to do things, I always used to chase my dreams and my parents used to preach education, but I was like, nah, sport is my thing. But it was accepted because it was me. I always did like rebelly things in a way. Like I've always went the other way. She was always to the book, you know? So she was like, dude, you went that way and you followed what you believed in. And you inspired me to also do that. I know like I did it much later in life, but you are the main source of me following my dreams and my passion and what I believe my purpose is in this life. So that was like, I cried that day.
I would also, if that was my life movie.
But more importantly for
That's
me,
crazy.
it was how he was doing it. Like I said, he's still the same guy he was when we were kids. He never changed. He kept the humility. He kept his character. My brother will come and visit me in Pretoria and still cook at my house.
Imagine.
You know, he'll just take out the pot. Okay, sis, I'm cooking tonight. He's still the same person.
The guy's a star.
You know what I mean? And not only that, just in private and publicly, because sometimes there can be a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So even in private, I remember a funny story actually. We were home and you know when he's home, there's all these people coming in wanting to see him and everything.
The prodigal son.
Yeah, no, like there are people wanting to see him.
The prodigal son's
to
come
say,
home.
Hey, can you sign now and whatever. And there was this young boy, I think he came with his mom, and he found him mopping the kitchen floor. And that little boy, his jaw was on the ground. And for us, it's a normal thing. He's still the same person. He mops, he cooks, he does whatever. For us, sometimes we even forget who he is or how the world perceives him. We literally forget. It's only like when we go out, then it clicks back. Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way,
you know, he remained the same. And for me, branching into my dream, I was scared I was going to lose myself.
I got you.
So seeing him do it and so effortlessly and knowing who he is, I thought, nah, I think I can do this too.
That's
amazing.
And you know, for your younger sibling to inspire you know, that's a whole other thing, right?
Yeah.
Because there's an ego to being the first child. And I'm the first child, and I know what that feels like. Like for him to inspire you and for you to come out later and say that is an awesome. But let's be honest now. Can he sing? Because he was kind of...
He claims he can sing. Listen, this is an ongoing argument in the family.
Okay, so now you're on the hot seat. Because you're actually somebody who it's been decided by people in DMs that you can sing. You know? Can my man sing? I mean, come on.
No, he claims he can sing. And I'm always... Listen.
He claims.
No, I'm always saying, guys... Because the singing thing, the talent comes from mom and her side of the family. My mom can sing. She's got a beautiful voice. And I always tell them, guys, that I'm the only one who got it. Because with the cooking thing, I didn't get it.
I got you.
Yeah, the cooking thing, I didn't get it. I cook regular food. They cook amazing food. and I've accepted that.
Yeah.
But then with the singing thing, they don't want to give it to me.
Oh, I
You know
see.
what I mean? They don't want to give it to me. It's like, no, give it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm the one who got it. So it's like an ongoing thing.
I hear you. Oh,
And he would like sing a note and be like, "Utra," you know, and I'd be like,
Brother
dude.
man.
I'm like,
Brother
you're
man.
reaching, dude.
I've got a song out, bro. We re-sang Johnny Clegg's Sears, Estomos. That song is out. I've got a song out.
Are you on lead though?
I have a record.
Are you on lead though?
One of the leads.
Okay.
I mean, it's a team sport, so
No, I hear you.
we have like 8 leads, but I'm inside there.
Look.
What does that mean? But we had auditions. Do you understand this?
I don't want to. You know what? You said enough. I think I've heard. I can already hear my man's already. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But because you've got the playlist, right? Because music clearly is a thing in your family.
It's a whole thing.
You've got your power playlist on Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I noticed about you is that you love music.
Love it.
You love music, and so it clearly, it sounds like it was something to bind the family. Some people are waking up K7 singing loud.
Even in family functions, like we sing on our own. We don't need neighbors and whoever else to hype us up and everything. Like we have aunts. Like if there's family functions, they'll be like, "Who's doing soprano? Who's doing alto?"
I'll
the
try
song
to
starts,
record this
like
when we have a family function again.
Please do.
They're like in the kitchen, like obviously family functions, like they cooked the previous evening, and like everybody's like busy chopping. Some is chopping, some are doing whatever, and like one is there, and they're all just singing the same thing, and like it's such a beautiful harmony that comes through. Like that melody is so amazing because it's been a thing ever since we were young.
Yeah,
like they just love singing, and whenever they do that, I know like okay.
Yeah.
Happiness is around.
And they will even stop the song if somebody's not singing. No, somebody's not singing the right note.
Oh, so there's
No, because
there's excellence.
Yeah, because most people can sing in the family.
Yeah, they really
so
can.
if somebody's not singing right, it's like no.
Oh, you said most people can sing.
I don't get involved. I just chill.
Oh, there's
I just tap my foot when they sing. Like, sounds good.
But even the sports thing, he's like, other than you, who else, Papa? Oh, I'll call him Papa. Please don't. Yeah,
I'm the only one I think that sport like that.
Yeah. So like,
he's also the only one maybe in the world. Yeah, we haven't really produced. I mean, we've had some great ones. So, but
sport nothing. She was never interested in sport. Academics, like
dude, I played netball. I was in the first team in high school. 8. Why you're not giving me that?
Till grade 8 or something. That doesn't count.
Some of us can sing. Some of us, you know what I mean. We are who we are. But man, this has been awesome. I want to ask you something. As you see him now, Seabelo now as he is again we're talking about legacy and with what he's got plenty of power.
Yes, it does.
And what's nice about his is organic, like you said. He hasn't changed. And where do you think he's gonna be in the next 5 years? And where do you see him going as? I mean, there's a rugby player, but there's a man as you've expressed him.
I see him growing there's no limit actually to his growth, because what I love about him, he enjoys pushing himself. Especially even in areas where people are not even aware that he's got abilities in that area. He pushes himself. So I see him doing things that even other people have not done. Because what I love about him, he's a trendsetter. He will just do something that is totally different. He'll just go another direction that is different. Like, for example, with the sevens, I think he was the first, if not one of the first players to actually do sevens and 15s at the same time. Mm-hmm. Whereas with most players, they were just focused on sevens. But he broke that mold, So with him, I can never really know in terms of direction, but I see him being great in whatever that he does. And one thing I do know about him, that he's pursuing business a lot. So he's doing different business ventures here and there. And I see him growing even in that space as a businessman and just as an entrepreneur, rather.
And as a sister, like every time you see what he's achieving, because for all of us, we observe the rugby player side, right? That's all we get to see. We're not fortunate enough to see him mopping at home. But how do you feel when you see what people think of him, you know, he carries the family name in a certain way. How does that make you feel when you're at home with your family, or somebody mentions him and you may not go and say to them, "Hey, that's." But how do you feel when you hear his name in the light that it's being spoken?
It is very inspiring. Like I said, he's been inspiring me for years. It is very inspiring in such a way that I have even put aside that firstborn thing. You know, I've really honestly just put it aside and allowed him to inspire me, you know, as a person. It is amazing watching him do it because it looks like it's so natural. He's not even overdoing it. It looks like it comes so natural for him to just be who he is, you know, and it's absolutely inspiring. And like I said, you know, you get a wake-up call here and there because sometimes we forget, you know, and then you see somebody meeting him and the person literally crying because they've met him, and it's really humbling, you know, and it's really amazing to see.
There you hear it. Hey, I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it any better. That's your
What
very
is this? Bulele trying to make us all emotional show. Right?
No. Bulele's trying to make me cry. You know, he heard that I'm a crier, so he's really pushing it. He's like...
He's pressing the buttons. Yeah.
But you're so real. Like this is... you are such a real person. And you know what? As your career grows, I think it's such a fantastic thing that you guys have both created your own sphere. And, you know, we all know how life can go, is that there is a power in sort of, for me, being happy for somebody else. And it's organic here. Like, it's you didn't need to be here. I love that you can be so happy for him, and Seabelo, that you can be so happy for her. I mean, this is what it's about, right? Everybody needs support.
Yeah. Listen, I made a decision on that because I've seen siblings being played against one another. I've seen siblings fighting for favorite spot with their parents and all of that. And I've seen how destructive it can be, you know? And I made a conscious decision that as far as he can go, I'm going to support him, even the youngest one. You know, I will support them. I'll always be there for them. Whatever that they need, I will be happy for them.
Actually, have these type of conversations like all the time. Like
like we talk about this all the time. Because I'm always like, guys, please, let's not, you know, compete with one another. I'm always that person that always tells them, guys, please, let's not compete.
Yeah. And I'm always
No, because really, really, honestly, I don't want to see that dynamic between us. And I want us to be close and to support one another. And to know that his success is also my success.
It is.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Come on with it.
Really, really, yeah.
Come on with it. Hey, listen, this is a man who says he can sing. Like that's very, very important. He claims he can sing. He's a brother. She's a superstar. And isn't it great to see that, you know, both are happy for one another. There's another Senatla on the way. And it is great to see a family knowing their power. And that is that, you know, ungumuntu ngabantu, ngesixhosa batsho. So we truly are that. Seabelo, a man who claims he can sing, a rugby player, an entrepreneur, and indeed a brother to an absolute superstar on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the Know Your Power podcast is available on YouTube. Otherwise, you can get the audio podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you may get your podcasts.